the Congress Haryana now at the brink of annihilation. Why we say that is because the cadres completely dejected. What they thought was going to be a huge assembly win, they could not even get a single mayoral seat when it came down to local body elections this time. The party facing the result of not fixing assembly poll debacle accountability. 6 months after the assembly results, the High Command is yet to fix responsibility on what really went wrong. How is it that they snatched defeat to what at least the local leadership had said was the jaws of victory? Number 3, Congress Haryana desperate for a complete overhaul, and it can clearly be seen even after all these months because of the infighting. There is no CLP leader of opposition. The Congress hasn't been able to appoint one. Has no action by High Command, demoralized party cadre. There was a sense that the Congress High Command is going to come down heavy, heads will roll, even if they are some of the top leaders when it comes down to Haryana. But the High Command has really done absolutely nothing. It's remained quiet, continued to let things go the way they were where Haryana was concerned, and the result is what they see right now where the local body elections are concerned. We take all these questions to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Rohan Gupta, National Spokesperson, BJP, Advocate Arshdeep Khadial, National Spokesperson, Congress, Ravindra Singh Sharon, Senior Journalist. I want to go to Mr. Khadial first. Mr. Khadial, I would reckon, how shameful is this? And why I say shameful, because 6 months down the line, there was a sense between where the Congress unit was concerned in Haryana that you were going to win these assembly elections. None of that's really happened, leave alone assembly elections. You were not even able to win your own stronghold seats when it's come down to Haryana for even local body elections, Arshdeep Khadial.
See, you should also ask question how shameful it is to undermine the democracy, how shameful it is to undermine the constitution, how shameful it is to undermine the federal structure of India. A pitch that has been very commonly seen, very commonly observed, a narrative of the Bharatiya Janata Party that has been witnessed, the double engine sarkar, the triple engine sarkar. What is this narrative? What is this system? Basically saying through direct and indirect remarks that if the government is the same as that of the center, work will be done, development will be done, funds will be given. And if it is not the same as the government in center, not the same as the government in state, there would be no work done, there would be no development, there would be funds stopped, direct, indirect marks, and also through actions. In Karnataka, the Congress party formed government, 61 central sponsored schemes have been stalled. The funds have still not been given. Another example is of Punjab. The RTF funds have been stopped. The NHM funds have been stopped. The Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan funds have been stopped. Twice the tableau was rejected consecutively. No World Cup match was given to Punjab. And multiple cases registered against the leaders in order to stall the work. There is red tapeism. There are attempts that are made in order to stall the governance, in order to stall the government one way or the other. One way or the other, having interference in the works of the government. So governors not being supportive, bills being stalled. This is one thing that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been doing, which is a threat to our democracy. And we know it, that the means do not justify.
Okay. I mean, 1 second. Mr. Khadial, before I go to, allow me to ask you a rebuttal. You're actually blaming the BJP for winning an election? Or I'm not understanding. What's the point that you're trying to make?
Well, no, the fact of the matter is that when you win an election by undermining democracy, by undermining the constitution, it's not really a win.
How? Okay, let me ask you this question again. No. Maybe I'm not being clear with my question.
The people are
in what way was democracy or federalism undermined in these local body polls, sir?
It was undermined when the narrative of... Allow me to answer. I've heard your question. Allow me to answer. The Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have on record made statements in multiple elections that the funds would be stopped if the BJP government is not re-elected. And this is for the starters. If I were to be allowed more time, I'll give you 10 statements which are basically no less than threats to the voters, to the electorate, that if you do not vote for us, if you do not form our government, our party is not voted to power, you will suffer. Your development will suffer, your governance will suffer, your state will suffer, your future will suffer, and that is something that we have seen. I've given you example of 2 states. I've given you multiple examples.
So Arshdeep Khadial, I'll tell you what, many would feel that's the problem. Allow me to open up the debate. Many would feel that's exactly the problem of the Congress, because the failure of the Congress is everybody else's fault but the Congress party's fault. And that's exactly what you've stated. You're practically blaming the voters. Sir, allow me to talk and allow me to open up the debate, and don't embarrass me by putting down your fader. I don't want to do it. I've given you enough opportunity. Allow me to open up the debate. Allow me to open up the debate.
Don't pose questions while you open up the debate, and then don't expect me to not answer.
Sir, I'll come back to you. No, I'll circle back to you. I'll tell you what. Hopefully, and the Congress will save the aggressiveness for future elections, not on TV, but on the field. Because you cannot be blaming the people for not being able to convince the people of the state of Haryana that you could do a better job than the BJP. You're practically saying that the BJP has won this election on the promise of a double or a triple engine. Because somewhere down the line, then the Congress should stop fighting elections altogether, because this is going to happen. I just want to open, whether it's justified or not justified, it is in the domain of politics. It is not illegal. It is not unconstitutional that the BJP goes to the people and say, we'll give you a triple engine sarkar. It's for you to break that myth. It is for you to make the voters of Haryana understand you could do better. But no, you did not do that, and there is zero acceptance of that. I just want to cut across to the BJP spokesperson, Rohan Gupta, national spokesperson. Let me take that question that you've posed to Rohan Gupta, Arshdeep Khadial, and I'd really appreciate if you'd also, give equal time to your opponent. Rohan Gupta, the question that Arshdeep Khadial has raised is that you have resorted to undemocratic ways to undermine democracy in Haryana, and that is why you see yourself where you are, which is a practical sweep of Haryana where it came down to local body elections.
I think my friend has forgotten that he is attending the debate where Congress party has lost the state miserably just after 4 months of assembly elections where they got 39.09% votes. And you are, Priti, you are absolutely right. The way his approach is today in the debate, the same approach is of High Command towards any state debate. They are not ready to learn. They are taking decisions which are totally against the state. They are making blunders. Priti, I am telling you with great responsibility that if Congress could not win Haryana before 4-5 months, they should stop everything. Because, the way atmosphere was created and they lose Haryana, after that they are also not ready to understand. You are losing, you are not appointing your leader of opposition for 4 months. What do we expect from people? The people, 39.9% people who voted for you, they are also feeling that we have wasted our vote. And still you are not ready to understand. In Haryana Congress, the structure has not been declared for the last 10 years. There is no state bodies. There are no district bodies. How do you expect people to give you votes? And still you are not ready to understand. See your BJP on the other side, whether it is election or governance or delivering on promises. In 4 months, we have delivered what we have said. So it is upon people. You cannot question logic of people every time. Question people's intelligence. You are saying democracy. This is the democracy. You are losing elections after election. What more you want? And still you are not ready to understand. Every democracy needs a strong opposition. But I'm sorry to say, you are taking Haryana Congress towards Delhi Congress. You are not ready to understand. As an opposition party, I'm more than happy. But I feel sorry that even today, your high command or your local people, they are not understanding pulse of people, what people expect from you as an opposition party, even you are not able to deliver today. And that's why you are going to Delhi, which is zero.
Okay. I'm going to come back to the both of you. Allow me to bring in Ravindra Singh Sharon. He's a senior journalist. He knows Haryana better than most do. Ravinder ji, इस बार ऐसा क्या हो गया, क्योंकि लग रहा था कि कांग्रेस थोड़ा तो लॉस्ट ग्राउंड गेन करेगी, कम से कम जो गढ़ कहलाते थे कांग्रेस के, वहां पर तो अपना गढ़ बनाए रखेगी, चाहे वो रोहतक हो या चाहे जुलाना हो, बिल्कुल क्लीन स्वीप आई है भाजपा की।
जी नमस्कार प्रीति जी। देखिए, कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए अब जिस तरह के हालात बन गए हैं, आपने अपने शुरुआती उद्बोधन में बिल्कुल ठीक बातें कही हैं, और मुझे लगता है वो इस पूरी डिबेट के लिए वो एक एजेंडा सेट हो गया बातचीत का। कांग्रेस पार्टी इतनी ज्यादा डिवाइडेड हाउस है, जिस बात की उम्मीद थी कि विधानसभा चुनाव के बाद कुछ स्थितियां ठीक होंगी, लेकिन ये और ज्यादा गहरा डिवीजन होता चला जा रहा है। आज की स्थिति ये है कि डिवीजन स्टेट यूनिट वर्सेस नेशनल यूनिट भी होता हुआ दिख रहा है कि आज नेशनल यूनिट के पास इस बात की जिम्मेदारी है कि वो घोषित करें कि सीएलपी का अध्यक्ष कौन होगा। आज तक घोषित नहीं हुए 37, देखिए छोटी मोटी संख्या नहीं है, 37 विधायक हैं और 37 विधायकों का कोई लीडर नहीं है। हाउस में आप जाते हैं, आपके पास नेता नहीं है। सरकार इतने सारे यहाँ पर दिक्कतें आई हैं लोगों को, पिछले 4 महीने में सरकार बनी है रोहन जी की, लेकिन सरकार को घेरने के लिए कोई नेता है ही नहीं विपक्ष का। कोई नेता सवाल नहीं पूछ रहा है कि सरकार आखिर कर क्या रही है। कोई नेता ये नहीं कह रहा है कि जो महिलाओं को पेंशन देने की बात हुई थी उस पर क्यों क्या सरकार कर रही है। कांग्रेस पार्टी की स्थिति ये हो गई है कि आपस में लड़ाई लड़ लड़के वो लोग इतने कमजोर हो गए हैं कि अब कैडर जो कांग्रेस का है, जो लंबे समय से जिसने 39% वोट दिया, वो लगातार जुड़ा हुआ कांग्रेस के साथ, अब वो भी कहीं ना कहीं डिजेक्टेड फील कर रहा है। और उनको भी ये बात लगती है कि अब कांग्रेस पार्टी इतनी ज्यादा दिक्कत में है कि उसके साथ शायद खड़े रहने का फायदा नहीं है। तमाम विधानसभा सीटें आप देखिए, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने चुनाव की हार के बाद क्या समीक्षा करी है किसी को पता नहीं है। समीक्षा के लिए कमेटी बनाई, उसकी रिपोर्ट किसी को पता नहीं है। और तो और प्रीति, आपको हैरानी होगी, 2 दर्जन इलेक्शन पिटीशंस लगी हैं इस इलेक्शन में, लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी ने आज तक किसी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में यह जानकारी नहीं दी कि किस किस व्यक्ति ने पिटीशन लगाई है, उसने क्या ग्राउंड लिए हैं। जब इतनी ज्यादा दिक्कतें होंगी तो आप बताइए जनता भरोसा कैसे करेगी। सरकार चाहे काम अच्छा करे चाहे खराब करे, कोई घेरने वाला तो दिख ही नहीं रहा है। सरकार के जो सरकार ने वादे किए थे कि आज किसान खुश हो गए क्या पूरे हरियाणा में, कोई लेकिन उठाने वाला नहीं है। आज भी मुआवजे के लिए किसान भटक रहे हैं, आज भी किसानों का फसल जो है वो मंडियों में खड़ी रहती है, लेकिन कोई सवाल उठाने वाला नहीं है। कांग्रेस पार्टी के लोग एक दूसरे को नीचा दिखाने में लगे हैं। और खड़ियाल साहब को शायद इस बात की जानकारी नहीं होगी, मैं उनकी जानकारी दुरुस्त कर दूं। ये जो कह रहे हैं कि हमने कोशिश की, कांग्रेस पार्टी के सबसे बड़े नेता भूपेंद्र हुड्डा ने कहा कि छोटे मोटे चुनाव में मैं प्रचार करने के लिए नहीं जाता हूं, जबकि बीजेपी के जो मुख्यमंत्री हैं और पूरा कैबिनेट, उन्होंने पूरा प्रचार किया। म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन इलेक्शन को भी उन्होंने गंभीरता से लिया। और शायद यही रीजन है कि लोग कांग्रेस से दूरी बनाते हुए दिखे और बीजेपी के नजदीक जाते हुए दिखे। और एक और आखिरी बात, ये जो मूल रूप से जो चुनाव था, देखिए शहरी इलाकों का चुनाव था। शहरी इलाकों में बीजेपी वैसे भी मजबूत पार्टी है और कांग्रेस जहां लगभग गायब दिखी, कांग्रेस की लीडरशिप गायब दिखी, कोई व्यक्ति चुनाव का प्रचार करता हुआ नहीं दिखा। ऐसे में बीजेपी को लगभग खाली मैदान मिल गया और उस खाली मैदान पे भी उन्होंने बहुत हिम्मत की, बहुत मेहनत की और उसके बाद ये नतीजे देखने को मिले हैं। प्रीति
Arshdeep Khadiyal, I'll come back to you because those were the questions that what Ravinder ji has said, I had posed earlier as well, and we want to just get an understanding of what's going on. You know, you can be confrontational, you can be aggressive, but maybe you can also reflect on what's going on within the Congress party. And I'll give you a few examples, Mr. Khadiyal. Example number 1, 6 months that the elections of Haryana Assembly have taken place. There are 37 MLAs. They don't know who is leading them. Why? Because the factionalism in your party is so intense that the high command really doesn't know who should be designated as the CLP leader. There is no one, absolutely no one to pick up, on political issues and actually take on the incumbent government on undelivered promises because there's so much infighting going on within your own. Number 2, I will just take you through some of the people who were fielded by the BJP to fight elections. Along with the Haryana Chief Minister, the Delhi Chief Minister, you had Rajasthan Chief Minister, you had all the senior leadership from these states being poured in for mayoral polls, while people who aspire to be your CLP leader went ahead and said that they don't campaign for chota-mota elections. Now, where is the action which was taken? Let me give you another question, Arshdeep Khadiyal. Taken accountability fixed of what went wrong during Haryana elections?
Number 1, thank you, Preeti. Number 1, it's Arshdeep and not Arshdeep. Number 2,
apologies.
Number 2, I want to clarify one thing. Ends do not justify the means. That is the main headline that people need to understand, of the Bharatiya Janata Party especially, that you cannot murder the democracy, you cannot undermine the constitution in order to grab a win. Now, the means that I'm talking about, that the Bharatiya Janata Party is accustomed to, this is a trailer what we saw in Haryana civic polls, wherein the triple engine government, the narrative that if our government is formed, we'll work, development would be done, funds would be given, and if it's not ours, that would not be done. And This was a trailer. The movie was in the Chandigarh mayor poll, wherein the Supreme Court said murder of democracy took place, where the presiding officer was defacing the ballots and then that act was caught on camera, and then the Supreme Court reprimanded
All right,
it.
I'm running
The
out of
Bharatiya
time,
Janata
but I
Party is used for
understand,
adopting such means.
Arshpreet, the line that you're taking, this is not about the Chandigarh mayoral polls. I'll give you
It's
the
an
figures.
example.
Today, in Haryana, where the Congress wanted to win the states, even for local body elections, look at the number. People actually have more faith in an independent. More faith in an independent than the Congress. And that should not even ring alarm bells. That should be immediate action by the Congress. But clearly, it's everybody else's fault but the Congress's fault as per you. I want to get in 30 seconds to...
Allow me to answer. Allow me to answer.
10 seconds, sir. Please answer.
Perfectly all right. See, a very good example is of Karnataka. There's been a decline of 7,000 crores in the central sponsored schemes, the money that's been flowing in. In 21-22, it was 20,986 crores. In 23-24, it was 13,000 crores.
Okay. So basically, the Congress should stop fighting any elections and only fight the general elections. Only fight general elections in the hope that they will come at the center, and then maybe they can start releasing funds to their own states. Maybe that should be what they should do. I just want to allow me, sir. I don't have the time to argue. I want to go in 20 seconds. Rohan Gupta, you want to come in closing comments? Make your point.
I think my friend has studied different syllabus and the paper is different. You are asking very straightforward question. And this kind of attitude is responsible of the current situation of Congress party. Their high command sitting in the Darbaris, they don't understand the ground reality. For them, it was opportunity, the defeat of last 4 months. Before 4 months, had they performed better, they could have changed the narrative. But no, they don't want to learn. As a BJP spokesperson, as a worker, I'm very happy that my friend from Congress or the party, they are not ready to learn from their mistakes. They are not ready to play a role of opposition also. And that's why people have more confidence in independence compared to Congress party. They are taking Congress to where Delhi Congress is right now.
अब क्या कांग्रेस के पास कोई होप है या आपको लगता है कि पूरी कांग्रेस हरियाणा यूनिट को डिसमेंटल करके एक नई कांग्रेस यूनिट खड़ी करनी है कांग्रेस को?
प्रीति जी, ये बात तो हरियाणा में लोग हर जगह गली नुक्कड़ चौराहे पर बोल रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस को पूरा ओवरहॉल करना पड़ेगा, लेकिन कांग्रेस को ओवरहॉल करने की हिम्मत है किसकी? सेंट्रल लीडरशिप जो है वो तो हिम्मत दिखाई नहीं पा रही है। वो इसी असमंजस में है कि हम लोग हुड्डा को सीएलपी लीडर बनाएं कि ना बनाएं। अगर बनाएंगे तो उसके नफे नुकसान क्या है, नहीं बनाएंगे तो क्या होगा उसकी वजह। अब देखिए, सीएलपी लीडर बनाए ना बनाए वो उनकी मर्जी है, लेकिन उसकी वजह से हरियाणा का तो नुकसान हो रहा है ना। हरियाणा का आज नेता प्रतिपक्ष नहीं है। जब कोई किसी प्रदेश में नेता प्रतिपक्ष नहीं है तो बताइए जनता की आवाज उठाएगा कौन? सरकार को घेरेगा कौन? आज कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं है जो 2-2.5 करोड़ लोगों के बारे में बात कर पाए वहां पर।
Ravinder ji, that's all the time that we have for now. That's it. I appreciate all three of you for joining us. Ultimately, the buck stops with the senior leadership of the Congress. No action was taken during the assembly after the assembly elections to possibly fix accountability. Will any action be taken now? Well, if not, then why now? Till then, the cadre of the Haryana Congress is still waiting for the leader of opposition 6 months after an election is concluded.